This conference will now be recorded.
Recording.
All right, so we're going to start this special meeting of the Finance Committee. And clerk will note the members present. By my count, we have a quorum, barely. So, any changes on the agenda?
Yes.
No,
Yes, we'd like to remove item number 2 from the regular items on the agenda. The Roswell Police Department is seeking approval for the purchase and installation of the AC condenser. We want to remove that.
waiting for a second.
Get us.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Any negative votes? I want to clean up a little deal. Item 6 was added after the agenda got posted. So I would, just to clean up the books, like a motion to include item 6 in this agenda.
I moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, so now I need a motion for approval of the agenda as amended. Your turn.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Any further discussion? Any negative votes? Passes 3-0. Okay, moving on, number 1. We're gonna do some swapping the dollars here, it looks like. Mr. O'Donnell.
Chairman, City Council, I would like to see if there's approval to transfer some budget from the general funds to the RPD capital outlay for $91,581. Money was received from the auction sales for all the used police, unused, used, and deadline vehicles that were sold between March 17th to July 4th of this year. Money was deposited to the general fund account. The money transfer will be used to buy 2 K9 units. For right now, we only have one that's been sold for us. The Chevy Tahoe 2025 for $55,330. Transfer any funds.
So do you anticipate the purchase to be, this is on state contract?
Yes, sir.
So if I'm looking at this deal right, the total price is $55,330, correct?
Yes, sir.
And why do we need to transfer all $9,100?
So I could buy 2, but right now there was only one that I was able to hold for
Oh, this 50, this 555 or whatever it was
$55,330.
is for one unit?
Yes, sir.
Where are you gonna get the rest of the
I'm
money?
waiting for the 2026 to come out. And they're out of 2025.
Okay, but where are you gonna get the other 10, 15,000 bucks?
That'll be out of our operating budget somewhere along the line.
Is it in your budget? Was it anticipated in your budget?
Look at the accounts and maybe move some money around internally.
Questions?
Yes, Chairman, I think it would have been nice to brought a possible movement of the other funds to go ahead and procure 2 of them. Even though you just got one right now, but at least have the funds available. We can't transfer money until we have the,
It's not best practices.
okay. So do we just want to transfer the 55 for now and then wait till we get a plan to just transfer the other
Well,
proceeds and the other at the
I mean, is this,
second purchase?
yeah, I was looking through this list of auction items. We got other departments, police vehicle, couple of them, 2, 3, 4. We've got a transit bus, landfill, airport stuff, fire stuff, scaffolding, whatever that was for, paving truck. Majority of it's police vehicles parked. So what we're asking to do is, and we haven't had any formal discussion that I'm aware of, that we're using stuff donated to the auction from other departments to supplement the police department, and they may have needs also. I don't know.
91,000 of that was from the police
Yes, sir.
vehicles.
It's only, I'm only accounting for the police department vehicles. The water department,
No,
not
it's
any of that.
Probably 20, 30,000 bucks of other departments.
I know, but what they're asking for is just from the police
Yeah.
vehicles. Yeah.
Well, he was asking for the whole transfer. That's why we were,
Oh, I know, yeah.
So the balance in this account is 133,000?
Well, it went to the revenues, so there, it was in cash balance.
okay.
They're only asking for,
Chairman, if I may, you're gonna need it outfitted too, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's gonna be another expenditure.
20,000 bucks?
Yeah, about 25,000, yes, sir.
Times 2, that's 50.
Well, right now, his radar's 1, so
I understand, but
55 and another, that would be like 80,000.
But I think part of the job of this committee is try to keep some view of what's going on day after tomorrow, next month, 6 months from. And it's gonna be September probably before they're gonna be back in here October when the 26s actually come out, and become available.
Yes, sir.
so to get, if I may, the 55,000 doesn't cover the entire cost.
No. It's only for the vehicle one.
Yeah.
But Chairman, if I may, but the 91 would cover the cost of the vehicle and the cost of.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So that would be the 91 transfer, I would assume. If in fact, we're gonna get it and send it straight over to
Yes, sir.
get it outfitted, now you got another vehicle, brand new.
Yes, sir.
That was my perception of it, Chairman.
So when did it come to light that this needed to be done?
The K9 units have been having a lot of electrical issues and the dog is in there, especially with the summer. I know that the sensors and everything else have been going away. Keep sending them back to the factory and then they keep sending it back to the outfitter. And they can't figure out where the problem is right now. And with the recalls that Ford Explorers have and everything else.
If I may, I did talk to the chief. He's a little concerned that the dog will be in the car and the air conditioner's gonna fail and we're gonna lose.
I understand.
Well,
Deal.
okay, sir, I'm sorry. To answer your question, you said, when does this come to light?
Mhm.
When it came to light was when we identified on the financial side that the auction vehicles were sold and that money produced enough to be able to obtain that, which was just recently. It wasn't very long ago that we identified that this could be a usable funding solution for a vehicle. I know that we're talking about 2 vehicles. The second vehicle is more of a futuristic idea. We know that out of $91,000, we're not going to be able to buy 2 vehicles and outfit it.
So back when this budget that we're gonna vote on here in a little bit was put together, was it brought to the attention of the administrative staff that you desperately need these 2 units if you're gonna continue to operate a canine organization?
We knew that there were issues.
Did you
We
bring
also,
it to?
we did not bring it to the budget because of the fact that we were under the understanding and lack of better words of compliance to keep our budget as low and as usable as possible. So we did not want to bring hopes, wishes, and frills. But that's why,
All this for
well, but they're functional and we are skipping through it, but we're also trying to use and keep in mind of the city's financial situation and not stretch it out so far that we have, there are other departments all over the place that need items as well. But we Band-Aid stuff, we've done it for years. We Band-Aid stuff, we limp through stuff, and we try and identify and work the best we can within our budget. And when this financial gain that we looked at through the sales came available, we thought this might be an idea to at least start with one, and then we come work on another in a different manner.
I'm through.
Chairman, if I may, so we're having electrical issues, correct, with the other one?
Yes, sir.
And we sent it back to
Yes,
the
sir. So right
the
now,
outfitter, and that's where the electrical problems are, the issues?
yes, sir. So we have right now, the K-9 officers have their units, and then they have spare units. So it keeps going back and forth to either the outfitter or the manufacturer.
The dealer?
Yes, sir, to get it.
Okay.
get it fixed.
So it's kind of an electrical issue between the dealer and, because when we outfit these vehicles, I mean, they're engineered for everyday use for us. And then we go to outfit them, then now all of a sudden it changes the whole functionality of everything. And it sounds like to me there's a short or something in there that keeps, I don't know if it's a vehicle from running, the air conditioner from kicking on, I don't know, whatever. But don't we have warranties on stuff like this?
Yes, sir. And it keeps going back and forth, but right now they're just functioning off and on with their spare units.
Okay.
And that's part of the problem whenever, because Ford or Chevrolet or
Yeah, I think this was before, right? Yeah.
Yes.
they don't put the lights and the siren and the radios in it. And so the first time you got a problem, everybody's doing this.
Oh, yes.
You said the Explorer is what we have now?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you planning on buying a different brand?
Yes, this is the Chevy Tahoe.
Or the Chevy Hot Tahoe? Okay. You said that, I'm sorry.
I mean, it doesn't matter whichever one you buy from. Change the rigging on the vehicle, then they all do this. Not my problem, it's your problem. Not my problem, it's your problem. And that's one of the problems we have with a lot of stuff around here. With air conditioners and stuff, because we got one company that did the controllers, another company did the air conditioner, and they all sit around like this, and they're both out of town, so you can't go gather them up. We got an ability to gather them up. These guys got little bracelets they can put on you and bring you to a meeting. I used to use it quite a bit when I was a judge.
The problem that we had was the outfitter, we went, that was a different outfitter that we used at that time.
What was the one before, the one we're utilizing now?
So this, the one we're gonna use now is a totally different outfitter.
So is it a possibility that we could outfit it? I mean, what's the mileage on this vehicle? I mean, is it worth it? I guess is my question.
It's good as a spare, but not as an everyday user.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, those are some questions I wanted to ask. Thank you, Chairman.
Counselor?
So just in general, let me ask the question on the 91,000 that we received from the auction, correct? Where did that is generally put back into the general fund?
That's where it is now.
Yeah, and that's usually the process.
So I understand that. I'm trying to understand why if the PD received 91,000 for an auction on PD vehicles, why those aren't earmarked or specified to buy more vehicles.
Because I think state law mandates that it goes to general fund.
Okay.
So,
But I mean, I understand state law, but we as a practice can,
well, we could do what we want to within our own books, but the other thing is this 91,000 is reflected as cash balances right now. So you're drawing down on your cash balances to make this purchase.
Okay.
That's correct.
I do know a little something about this stuff.
I-
Much. Mayor, you have something? Well, I'm just,
I don't buy a 6.3 Tahoe, 6.2. The engines are already on recall. They got a million of them already on recall.
6.2 V8.
I like my 6.2,
Well, is it what year is it?
19,
Oh, well, they've started, they're just sold. they started at 21, but I think it's 21's, through, today's are all recalled.
Mine's still where I can work on it. I don't know what this new stuff is. Yes, ma'am.
I'm with her that I think if the auction money came from their vehicles, it should go back to them.
Well, like I say, you gotta talk to that lady right there. And if you want to separate it and keep track of all that stuff in your books for every department, then that's fine. She can do that. But we're not talking about enough money to get real excited about. I mean, it's big money when you're trying to replace a vehicle. I mean, I get it. But it just, when you auction stuff off, it goes, flies right into your general fund. And it goes in the cash balances column. And that's all the accounting that they do. What you're asking to do would be, they get these auction sheets like this, and somebody's gonna have to enter each one of these line items under that department head or division or whatever you want to call it, and then keep track of the inflow and the outflow. That's what you want them to do.
Do you already do that?
Do we already do that? No.
No. Oh,
It's pretty standard practice amongst various agencies that, because it's not recurring, right?
Yeah.
You don't know that you're gonna get those revenues every year, and it may be less one year, more another year.
Yeah,
So it typically goes in the general fund in your. cash
And
balance.
we, when we do the budget, we do revenues on a fund, not on a department level.
Well, it's just, I mean, that's a lot of money, but then in the grand scheme of things, it's not. But we've been talking for this for 20 minutes. This is what I have to do every time he wants a vehicle from.
well, he may stand there for another half hour. I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, this should have been a normal budget item. Should have been already in the budget. We wouldn't even have to have this meeting on this item. And I just question our budget process.
But I don't think they had it planned.
No, but I
And it
mean,
was, and then the deposits and the sale of all these used vehicles started happening in before March. We just started selling them.
so it's in process, I guess. I don't know. We used to get the auction list. I haven't seen one in a while. I don't know where we are on that. Used to get a report.
Robert Glenn was in charge of the auction. I think Becky is handling it now.
Well,
I think it was an infrastructure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
would you relay to Ms. Hicks
Sure will.
that I want to see that at least on a quarterly basis, if not a monthly basis? So we can see what kind of small amounts we're generating from the sale of our junk. And which ones are not selling and what the next step is, you know, let's get back in the groove here. And I also want police inventory on their vehicles, at least on a quarterly basis. Don't email them to me.
I think they
Because I can't open the emails from down here.
provide that with the public safety report every
Well,
month.
I want it in finance too.
Mr. Chair, I was gonna say it's in every month's public safety packet. All our departments are posting their vehicles and mileage. It's in their monthly report.
Then they've already got them. Just bring them in here. You already got them. We may do something with them. We may not do anything with them, but I think it's important for everybody to get schooled up on this stuff. You know, all this rolling equipment wears out. I mean, my personal deal is for emergency, both fire and police, it gets 75,000 miles. It's time to move that sucker out of the lot. Maybe even before. Because when they get the call to go, they gotta go. They can't be getting halfway there and then calling for a record.
It's usually the idle time that kills the vehicle rather than the running.
Well, you guys idle your stuff all the time. I mean, it kills vehicles just to let them sit and idle. Okay. Anything else on this item?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve to move the monies on a budget adjustment from the general fund account to the Roswell Police Department capital outlay vehicle account In reference to the auction money obtained from the sale of used, unused deadline police units for the amount of 91,581 to the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, a second, any further discussion? Hearing none. Any opposed? Passes 3-0. Okay, we got budget adjustment stuff coming up now. We're skipping number 2, we're going to item number 3. Which one of these documents are ones we're supposed to be looking at?
This, small one right there.
Single sheet, got 2 dozen items on it, give or take. So
Agenda item number 3 is for a budget adjustment for the items approved in last month's meeting. This is for the museum and the ARF truck, and also for the now K9 vehicle units in the amount of $1,706,814. I gave you an amended one to remove the item from agenda item number 2.
that by again?
So the
Go ahead.
the items listed in the exhibit are for the K9 police vehicles that you just approved, the museum budget adjustment that they asked for in last month's meeting, and the ARF truck for Miss Bobby at the airport that was approved in last month's meeting as well. In your packet, it had also the HVAC system or quote from Rhodes in there, which I removed because you guys just removed that off the agenda.
It's already gone here. I'm
It's
looking
been
for
removed,
it.
yes.
Asking the question.
There you go.
Okay. So this was stuff that we did in last fiscal year and we're just moving it forward. Is that what we're doing?
Well, you approved it in last month's meeting. So this was budget adjustment for the museum that Caroline brought forward, and Bobby also brought forward for the ARF truck out at the airport.
So the resolution number's wrong.
25XX?
25XX, it says 1787 instead of 1706.
Yes, because I just amended it this morning.
Okay. So I guess the first thing that needs to happen is we need to amend the dollar amounts in resolution 25XX.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we amend the recommendation of resolution 25XX from 1787886 to 176814.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? What's your pleasure?
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the amended resolution 25XX, approve the budget adjustment for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026 adjustment.
Consent or?
To consent, yes, sir. Thank you. Easy.
Second.
Easy.
What? Why didn't you put the first one on consent?
I did.
Shit.
Good.
No. Any opposition? Passes 3-0. Okay. Year-end budget adjustment. Next on my list.
Agenda item number 4 is to approve the year-end budget adjustments for fiscal year 25. I handed out a list of all the adjustments that need to be made. So in the revenues, these are all the revenues that have exceeded our original budgeted amount. So with DFA, anything over what we've budgeted for, we have to go in and do an adjustment for. Any transfers that we have not used, we have to go in and zero those out as well. And we had just a few expenses that were over the budgeted amount that are also included in there. And any transfers in to zero out some of the accounts.
All the stuff on the first sheet
That's revenue.
goes into the cash balance.
Yes.
And then the items that are in brackets on the second sheet, the golf, the zoo, and the lot,
Those are transfers.
those are transfers into those funds from the general fund.
Well,
In and out.
in and out.
I stand corrected. There's another sheet here I haven't seen. Because it just got handed a minute ago. Once this transfer is not used, you probably mentioned that, but I was trying to go over these numbers.
So those transfers we didn't use, so we have to go ahead and zero them out according to DFA.
Okay, questions?
Mr. Chair, I move we consider approval of resolution 25XX approving year-end budget adjustments for fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2025 on the consent agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Any opposed? It's reviewed. And that moves us to item 5, fourth quarter.
Agenda item number 5 is to consider resolution 25XX and approve the final quarter financial report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. The final quarter report has to be approved by the governing body according to DFA. So in your next little packet here, this is the DFA quarterly report. So it has our beginning cash balance, which was as the ending cash balance of last fiscal year. Investments are revenues year to date, transfers year to date, expenditures year to date, and any adjustments that we may have and our ending cash balance.
So,
Sorry.
are you through?
Yes.
Okay. So looking back at our projected cash balances, we started a year ago was 40,733,669. Now we're showing 79,154, 242.31. So how did that almost double?
Some of those not being reported and recorded by the county treasurer.
Yeah, so in the beginning cash balances, we have restricted funds, but she wasn't including those in the beginning cash balance. I'm not sure exactly why, but all cash balances, whether restricted or not, need to be included in your balances, your cash balances.
No, I understand the rules.
John.
So the one we got, the beginning one that you had wasn't a true number.
Right.
So it sounds like when we considered the 25 budget, we were being led astray.
Yeah, you had some restricted funds that were not included in there.
Only like 6 million though, right?
Yeah,
Well, okay,
But 6 million's,
yeah, but
that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
we doubled this sucker. We started it with an estimate of 40.
Let me remind you, Counselor, you all got each of you got patches to put on all those things and spend all that money. Anything else that's left in there is for the mayor to spend. So any of that other stuff, you guys spent all your money right there when you guys had those things and you wouldn't share anything else.
He's talking about
Yes.
stickers for the ICIP.
Oh, there we go.
He didn't get it to us, so he's.
Wanted to buy more stickers.
Everybody else, I used to get 10 and then you guys fight over everything and it doesn't go your way. And then, so the only thing I
I
get
don't think we had a fight.
referee. And so it's a lot better if all this money, if I just spend it, then you guys don't fight. And I can help the police and I can help animal control.
You through?
You know, you guys, I'm just pointing out the fallacies of your game.
Well,
Okay.
I'm still just trying to figure this mess out. So we had 40,000,007, call it 41. And you say 7 million of it.
Was reserved to 5.8,
Call it 6.
call it 6.
Okay, so now we're at 47, so we still got a ways to get all the way to 50 to 79.
Unencumbered budgets.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of components that went into that. Now, we have a true snapshot. I commend you. Great job. This is what I believe the chairman wanted to see for a long time. I believe the city manager wanted to see it. This gives us numbers that we can actually look at and know that this is where we're at. This is where we're going and how much money do we need to get where we want to go? And
Mr. Chair, that's a pretty big deal. You ought to be reporting your cash balances accurately and consistently. And so to leave that out and to recover that back in, I think it's good news all the way around.
But that's just
That's
$7 million or whatever. I want to know what the
$7 million
report.
is important.
I have it.
I got it. I mean, I'm not arguing that.
So, and in the budget that you have there, that is just the budget items. No, it doesn't mean everything was expended. If it was expended to that full budget, then we would be at that amount there.
Well, I'm asking a lot of questions that if I'd been given this document, instead of when I sat down at this table, just like all the other stuff we did during this whole budget process, we walked in the door, given this stack of papers, and said, here it is.
And I may apologize on that because I had an issue with Tyler. So it took me a couple days to work through that with them. We had for closing our end of the fiscal year, we had some transactions that crossed over into the new fiscal year. So I had to work with Tyler for a few days on getting that resolved.
Chair, could you talk a little bit about working with Tyler on that issue? It's kind of,
Oh, I hate Tyler.
it's Tyler, but we all know she's understaffed. She's working her tail off, I promise you.
Oh, I haven't bothered her because I don't want to get in her way.
good.
I mean,
She's busy.
I understand it.
But legitimate problem she did have with it, with
Well,
Tyler.
Then I've got another problem. And that is the documents that we were given, similar stack to this, it's on I just couldn't bring all that stuff in. On May 28th, when we were laid with this packet of information on here, we had a positive balance of 1.45086. And then the one we passed is in the hole, $483,100. And at that meeting on the 28th, or maybe it's the 29th, I just know this was printed on the 28th, because it says so right here on the bottom. And we made some adjustments. And we increased a couple of capital outlay things, but we decreased a whole bunch of stuff. And I just kind of curious, and I noticed going through this stuff that the fire department was in at one point for a $30,000 general fund appropriation that was taken out, was not voted on by us, was not voted on us by us. It was discussed, but it was never put in the form of a motion. There was never a vote on it. Just didn't happen.
Mr. Chair, I beg to differ. the council did vote on that budget.
Yeah, we voted on the
As,
budget.
as we worked through each line item. So there were, as you said, there were several things cut.
We, on those items we voted on was our intent. Those items that we did not vote on was not a collective intent for the whole body. Some of the things that were discussed that night were not voted on. And then we come to our city council meeting and we're going to approve the minutes for these various meetings. And there's no minutes. I don't know. Did you not get enough information to make minutes?
Yes, sir. They just were in the past.
I think Senator, when you're in the Senate, did you ever think that anybody changed something after committee action for the final disposition that wasn't approved by the committee?
We always, it was approved by the committee. And the only thing is that we have been working our way through. I don't want to sound like Trump talking or Jay Leno or Stephen Colbert. We've been working our way through a shit show of what we were handed. And I mean, I give you credit. I mean, I think when you look at it, a lot of things happened. A lot of, it was just, the end of this year was a conglomeration of a lot of things that happened. And, Tyler, we've got the new guy. Tyler's been a pain and everything. And we lost, 4 out of 5 people up there in finance. We had everything. And so it was a real show. And then, you guys, you were gone a lot too, because you're surgeons. And, there was a lot that was going on and I think we're past that stage of, I think, we have a whole different group here where you can trust. I think you can trust every bit of information you get. And I think we're not going to be in the same wreck we were in last time. And I think you agree with that. I think we all agree with it.
I agree.
It was a goofy thing the way it all happened.
I got it.
But we just have to work to not have it happen again.
Well,
But she's the only one that stayed here and through thick and thin and made it. And I mean, so that's all I'm saying. Sometimes, the horse was already down the track and out the gate and in the flood zone when we got it. And
well, and I get it, Mayor. You can't just do it with the change of a light switch.
Yeah.
But we need to look at our procedures.
I don't, that's all.
We never saw any of these budget documents in Finance Committee. They were on the agenda in May and we saw nothing. We get this stack of documents that's 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, laid on our desk, and then the meeting starts. And you can't go through all this stuff.
But the way the people preparing the documents that we've had for the first couple, 3 years we're not doing it the same way we're doing it. I mean, they were doing it their way, that Joe and everybody wanted to do it. This is a new way of doing it. And we, I think with our new finance group, I think together, we're going to be back in the old way, the way that you and I did it during the legislature. And I mean, where it should all come back and be in here. But we just have to get it.
Maybe I'm mistaken, Mayor, but I thought when you and I were in the legislature, we actually looked at this stuff and made adjustments. We didn't have that opportunity this time.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, when you have 4 out of 5 people leave or whatever, and you've got one here, they stayed here and stayed and worked us all the way through.
Tony, I'm not taking on.
I understand that.
She's worked.
But that's the one, the other 4 out of 5 are the ones that put all the information together. She couldn't have done all that. And I mean, it's just, we're past those people. we've got a good person here. She's gonna pick somebody good to help her and so we can get through it and go down the road and be done with it. I mean, I just said, it was a crazy show this year. I agree with that.
Don't hide the ball, Mayor.
I understand about hiding the ball too. I'm just telling you, you know, we've hidden the ball around here, getting all kinds of stuff. $300,000 they hid out there at the bar at the airport.
Well, I get it, but when I was elected and when you were elected, we were gonna change all this. Now we're right back in the same spot. Kristen,
You know, you gotta give us time. We still had the same people that made the last messes up. Now those people are gone and we've got new people doing a good thing, so let's count on looking forward. And that's me. That's what I'm trying to say. 4 out of the 5 people, the same ones that did it under Joe and all that other bunch. And so now we've got a different game in town. I think there's different games here, and next time you won't have this problem.
hold your breath. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I'm going to have to say I completely agree with you and respect that. I also respect that the changes came at a very, I guess, all at once. I think for the record, what I would like to say is, considering that you have heard several of us have issues with the delivery of a vote like this at the meeting, moving forward as you guys are working together and begin to shift things and create processes, I'm going to request on the record that the process be considered, that this type of information is actually noted and scheduled to come way beforehand, because the information is coming way too, it takes me a month of Sundays to translate the Greek here. So, yeah, I completely agree with him. And you guys are shifting, but
First agenda, since I sat in this chair, that I didn't approve.
Yeah.
You know when I got this? When I came and got it out of my box. Because I can't open the emails from down here, the attachments. I open the emails, but I can't open the attachments.
so I guess what I'm saying is I'm officially requesting that you actually consider reporting to the council and what is required in reporting to the council. There is a role. We don't have a treasurer that reports to the council. So we're actually depending on you to actually make sure that what you're presenting to us is done in a timely manner. And in the committee chairs, that's just a process. And once you actually have created that process, kind of telling us what you're looking at. Also, when you're going through those issues, we don't know about them. We don't know what you guys have gone through.
Mr. Chair, Matt.
Yeah,
So the goal, the development of next year's budget is to have this online where it's viewable, not only by us or the finance department, but by the public, by the council, by the unions. It'll be available as we develop that budget moving forward. As you know, we brought in some new software for budget development because that never existed here beyond Tyler, which is dysfunctional at best, extracting that information out with any clarity. But to have that online where anybody in the public can go out to the city's website and with a click, scroll through every line of information that you want as you please, I think is going to be a game changer for the city.
what do you call that?
Transparency.
No, what's the program?
Oh, ClearGov.
Okay, what's it called?
ClearGov.
ClearGov, yeah.
Well, I mean, I get it. Fax has been here. I used to be a fax guy. But this system that was purchased here was a piece of
Yes, sir.
cow dung.
Tyler.
And it was Tyler, but it was the wrong version of Tyler. Because I used to get all this stuff, because the county's also on Tyler, but they're not on this version.
No, they're on Encode.
It's more scaled back version.
And that's what you need. We're not Dallas or New York or LA. You know, we're Roswell. And you know, since you got here, I've been pushing to get us on a decent computer system.
You have, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate it. And as I've communicated with you and everybody else, you've got to have the personnel to do the implementation.
I understand.
And I'm thankful for the personnel that they've got.
I'm proud of all our finance people. I used to go up there and visit them on a fairly regular basis, go by there and tell them I was taking roll or some kind of nonsense. But I know all those folks up there, and we've gone through quite a turnover.
I just think the worst thing you could do is try to do a full-blown implementation of new software and then have your treasurer leave in the middle of it.
Well, when, are we already go live on this new system?
We've started, we had a meeting with them last week. And we're
Not-
working on the chart of accounts now.
Okay,
You're
Well-
still migrating,
Councilor Arnold,
man.
I want to clear up one thing she brought up. This is the pending agenda for August 7th. And I'll go through it. I've already got some changes. But I'll go through it and I'll make the changes before it's published. Because that's my job.
Yes. Yes.
Who's first?
Oh, I just, I run budgets all the time, of course, mine isn't on steroids like yours. This is huge, but, to get a snapshot, I mean, this thing's living and breathing every day. I mean, what you look at today is totally different tomorrow. What you look at tomorrow, totally different than the next day. So when you do provide this, just identify, look, this is July 1st. And so it gives us time to digest it somewhat. And it's still, I can tell this is Tyler, because I'm scratching when I see available balance, is that obligated POs as well inside that available balance?
This right here,
Yeah, this,
If you got a PO.
if you have 79 million, is that, are obligated POs in there as well?
No.
Encumbered POs?
No, not right.
No, okay, so it's separated out. So that is our true cash balance. That's good to know.
Well,
Perfect.
I've got a document that we don't have a printer that's working in this building today.
And new printers coming in the building. Yes, sir, as we speak.
Would you do me a favor? Amalia? And go and get my jump drive, because I got something else to show you. I was gonna hand it out, but I can't hand it out, so if you'd please go get my jump drive, because we can't print it. And my printer's offline too, so there, understand.
So,
And I went by someplace else and their printer was on the fritz. I think this is printer week, if not
Printer week, for sure.
so I just want to ask one more question. So all of our obligated POs, encumbered POs, where is that on, which,
there's not a line in there. If you'd like to see one, I can put one.
well, yeah,
Obligations.
yeah.
It's done
So once it gets obligated, it's checked out.
Yes,
And like if it's a PO for, let's say 2.5 million, and all of a sudden the bill comes in and James McCormack pays it, it's only 2 million,
Mhm.
then the 500,000 comes back into fund, and then we're kind of like looking like, well, where'd this come from? But
Yeah, and I do plan on giving you guys more information. I just haven't.
no, and I get it. I'm
Do
not
that.
trying to push more work on
No,
you.
no, I
I
get,
just like
Right.
ability.
I am like that too.
Yeah,
So,
because I know in past,
yeah,
our available cash balance was also our encumbered POs.
okay.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I feel so much comfortable today than I did when I first walked in the door.
So my plan is to go ahead and do something similar like this with DFA every month for you guys.
Yeah.
Their process before was horrible. It was download the information, put it on a spreadsheet.
Sheet driven.
And clean it up.
Not necessarily clean it up, but put it on copy it, paste it on another sheet, modify it to where it needs to be, copy it, paste it, modify it, copy it, paste it, modify it. I recreated a whole crosswalk on this.
Oh, wow.
So now I just upload the actuals in there and it populates everything in there, which saves me a lot more time now.
It used to take twice the time
It's more accurate.
or more.
It's less susceptible to human error.
Anytime you move a line item from here to there, there's a chance for a missed keystroke. And it's just been a hodgepodge. So
There is a lot of things I want
There's-
to change and make
there's,
going forward for you guys. I
Yeah.
just haven't had a chance to implement that.
no, that's okay.
No, that's fine. And and I'm not trying to please, no, I'm not.
No, I get it, yeah.
Where I was when I first walked in, where I'm at now, I have a total appreciation for the direction we're going. And I know it's just gonna improve from here.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Chairman.
Juliana, you had something?
I have a question about the actual budget. The American Rescue Plan Act, that's the COVID money, right?
Yes.
So are we not required to use that by a certain amount of time?
We have already expended or obligated the last of it. This here is what was part of that 10 million in there. It stayed in this fund. I know Counselor Corn did not want to transfer this up to the general fund, but it is part of general fund.
Where's it obligated to?
We've expended the 205 and this expenditure part right
I
here.
wondered what that was for too.
That was for an HVAC, I believe that was done for the police department. And also for, I think it was water master plan, I believe. I think it was.
That should be.
No, part of it was,
too. We
the
didn't
flood.
spend all that money, so some of it showed up over in cash balance. And some,
There's no revenue, so we're not earning interest off of this?
No.
Why is that?
that's the other thing, and then I'm gonna get into this.
We only earn very minimal interest in Pioneer.
Well, it's nationwide.
Yeah.
It-
But it,
I
We
won't-
don't have any formal investment accounts when
Yeah.
it's tied up.
You look at,
So, but this money, then that's not available for anything, because you said it's already off.
It's been obligated to the general fund from when the last records that I looked, so they took the standard 10 million on that. And anything, believe they got 11 million, the city got 11 million from the COVID funds, and they've expended out the rest of that.
That's all. I
yeah,
okay,
we still got some.
was curious why it was still there.
we still got 6 to go. We've done 5.
No,
Well, I don't want it to go away if they didn't spend it, you know?
There you go.
So I wanna give you all some food for thought. If you think this is just a bunch of numbers, that's not what a budget is. Budget does lots of things. It puts a lot of policy in place and gets things moving. And we have been, I feel that we as counselors have been delinquent in not putting forth policy that we, many of us sitting at this table, are going to be faced with the voters in just a few short months.
Yep.
And we haven't adjusted the policy around here. What this budget right here is, on the policy side, is same old stuff. Not a lot of changes. What we have done is that we've stopped the robbery from the enterprise funds, which is a good thing. But when I look at this, and I was thinking about this the other day, looking back going, okay, what have we done? Well, we've done that. And if you look at this budget, and that's all the budgets that go back. I didn't get 26 on there, thought I did. I probably forgot to save it. So if you could real quick, put the columns in, put FY 26 there, please. Where's my summary sheet? It is. And put under revenues. 130 million, 842, 103. And just hit go over the next line.
Okay. Tell me the numbers one more time. I'm sorry, I was listening to.
Better get Tony over there. Now, this doesn't have cash balances on it. I'll get into that 30,436,365. That's the one, that's off the sheet that we passed. I hope it matches when I look at it here.
Are you looking at the preliminary or the final?
The one we passed.
Preliminary?
And then for expenditures, and we'll put the final on there here in just a minute. The expense was 130,919,465, which puts us in a deficit of 483,100. If my math's right.
93. 138.
Now, on your balance over there,
93. $893, $465.
Yeah, it's really good. That'd be a nice. Well,
this is.
that'd be a
Is
nice-
that a formula?
No, there's no formulas in it.
I was gonna say, just drag.
Showing you a deficit of 483,100. It needs to be,
That's not quite right.
There's the
Four
formula.
eighty,
she's putting it in right now.
400.
You put a formula at the top and just,
I didn't do that because when I put this together, I was looking at each one of those individual budget books going all the way back to FY14. Now, that needs to be in red letters or needs to be in red.
correct.
Now, let's talk about what's in front of us now.
You took the parentheses off that so it matches the rest. Format,
Currency,
Oh, the
and
rest.
then add the dollar sign too.
yeah,
You want to get,
Well, it should be, that part should have been.
Control
in
thank you, Matt.
Control S.
But you still didn't get the dollar sign over.
The top, yeah. Oh, there you go.
there. Okay, so
Oh my God, it's black. Oh, geez. Oh, it's indecision.
you guys think I don't ever think about this stuff? Just go up and hit the dollar sign, mark up at the top.
It's in the wrong.
There you go. Okay, so the final numbers, I didn't put cash balances on
The
this.
others.
Cash balances is more,
But I hate to be thinking.
So all those numbers in red indicate a deficit.
now, we need to put down FY26 final, or just put final down in, under FY26. And then put your numbers on the documents that are before us now. Revenue of 130. Put an F by it or something so it doesn't show up the same. Please, Tony.
A what?
FY26
You could
final.
say FFY 26, final fiscal year 26.
Everything's final except the right word. That's projection.
So it's 130,
That was preliminary.
8,
Yeah,
42.
we're not in 26 yet.
There you go. You're working on it. You need to subtract those two.
I mean, can you copy your formula and the rest of them so they all match
Yeah,
up?
that's what I was gonna say. No, just copy your formula. Just go to the bottom one and copy it. Oh, I see what you're doing, okay. Except for when positive, but oh, it's red, but
If we could highlight the one that's
This one's not.
balance. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, ma'am.
So we've grown, looked to me like, assuming those numbers are correct. There's two important things on here that I wanted to point out to you. One was, if you look back there, FY15 is the last time we had a balanced budget. Okay, cash balances, don't care, because you got, at the end of the year, cash balances show up or they decrease or increase, and that's okay. But the trick is you want your cash balances to keep growing. Okay, and it's hard to do when you see all those red numbers. Very
It
hard.
helps if you're taking the auction proceeds, leaving them in cash and not pulling them out every time.
Yeah.
Same thing with your vacancy savings.
And that's what happens to you, in my opinion, whenever we do a lot of budget adjustments, then that red line gets crazy. And we don't pay enough attention to that, committee, in my opinion. And then, this is interesting, then there was some people on the city council that were yelling, let's go back to FY23. And I remarked that it didn't work in 23, what makes you think it's gonna work in 25? Remember that conversation? Mr. Cole?
Didn't we do the 25, off the 23 budget? But that's the one we did.
Yeah, but we had almost $2 million of contracts that we already did in 25 that wasn't covered when you do it that way. So my point is, another good telling point to me is when you look at the red at 23, $29 million. That's almost the biggest line in the column. It's the top four. Dated back to 2014. You know, budgets, I get you, they're living documents. But you got to, anybody else looked at these numbers besides me? Tony has, because I had her helping me dig all this stuff out. And
You put a lock on your door.
so this is my question now. So when we started down this path this time, back May 28, we had $1,100,000 in the black. Right here. Then the one we passed was 483,100 in the hole. And today's documents we're looking at, or I can't see that, it's over 900,000. Right?
998.
After requested adjustments today. Yes, sir.
Oh, that includes the,
Yes, sir.
so we just did one big adjustment here because we pulled off the.
In the current year.
That's why I was referencing.
Yes, we're adjusting out of the cash balance. Yeah.
Well, but this time of year, I mean, there's got to be some real discipline this time of year. To close your books, give our bigger staff ample opportunity to close the books, then we start a new book. But when you're dealing with budget documents, the only thing that was supposed to change is cash balance.
So what changes on here is the cash balance, but also the grants as well, because those cash balances are reduced somewhat from closing the end of the year. So those cash balances also become their expenses. So we zero out the counts showing zero on the budget.
So we're going in the hole another $500,000 between what we passed and what's before us today. And I haven't seen, and we were just given this document, we walked in the room. I haven't had a chance to go through it in depth that I did this, but I'm going to.
This wasn't even true to form until we actually passed
Well,
So,
I mean, you know,
just with the assumption we were gonna pass everything.
I've done lots of budgets since 1980. Used to do the whole state budget. I was on the revenue side and then I was on the spending side. And were you ever on Senate Finance, Tim?
Yeah. Once or twice.
Okay.
But it's just, you know,
And then you pass the House Bill 2, that's the General Appropriation Act.
we substituted one time.
Yep.
But, you know, my only thing is, you know, we had Tyler up and nobody. No, we didn't even know if Tyler was really even a working system. You know, and I mean, and so now we're down at where we've got things going with a working system, and I think all this stuff's gonna get better. And I mean, yes, there's issues, but you know, as a finance chairman, I mean, you and your committee are the ones that are supposed to always keep an eye on all this stuff, and I mean, we can beat people to death because Tyler was never implemented properly. They had all kinds of stuff they left out. They can't even print a list of the people who have business licenses to send them a renewal notice.
No.
And I mean, and how do you get a system that's that screwed up? It's been here for however long we've had Tyler, and we've got somebody now that I think that is in line with you, everybody else about fixing it and changing it and getting us in order. And I think with Chad and the management team we have now, I think we're all in it. And we've all decided we're not robbing any more water funds. We're not, you know, we're getting back in, and we have,
$10.8 million robbed out of those accounts, 4 or 5.
yeah.
Excuse me, how much?
16.8 million.
But see, but I mean,
They ought to pay attention to all this stuff.
but see, we've got, I'm just saying that, you know, the whole thing has changed, and we've, in the middle of all this, we've been dealt with not just COVID, but, you know, a hell of a flood. And so I think we're doing real well. And you turn around and look, I mean, even our airport's making money now. And last time, we didn't even know they had a cash balance. They were running cash accounts out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, so, I mean, the year the dirt's gone and we're fixing it, and it's gonna be fixed. And I'm sure she'll take heed to you, and you two can fight it out, but just don't make anybody else quit. And that's, so we don't, we're out of people to do the work. So, you know, it's just,
I may beat on her, but I won't kill her.
we're down the road, and we're going down the road, and, you know, it's,
I mean, I just think, Mayor, that during this budget process, council was completely left out of the loop on this thing. We get this stack of documents, and I can't speak for anybody else on the committee, but I go through this stuff. I look at it. And I've called Chad, I've called Tony and said, hey, can you explain this to me? Have I not?
Mr. Chair, don't disagree with you that it was a little chaotic in the budget process, implementing the new software, having the former treasurer leave with her spreadsheets and moving away from that. I do think what we've done in this year to put it together, roll it out to the departments, train the departments on the software, present the software and the department's budgets at finance, and no offense, but you were not there for 3 months of that. But we did
No,
present those at finance.
One meeting.
We presented at one more meeting.
Well, we got bits and pieces.
And then, fair enough, that's how you build a budget, with your
No,
bits and pieces.
I understand, but we didn't get all the pieces to the puzzle laid out in front of us.
That's true, until we got a little closer to the end. I think 2 weeks ahead of that May meeting, we met with you and Councilor Hildenbrand as well, and walked through that line by line. But as Councilor Johnson says, this thing is a moving target as you're drawing.
Let me ask you a question. During your budget process, how many of your directors came in and presented to you? I don't know if they got a 5-year plan, or are we on step with those plans? What do we need to do to shore them up? Has there been any efficiencies been discussed with your department heads? How we can do this more efficiently? I mean, I don't know, because I'm not privy to those meetings.
Yeah, so we did meet with all the departments, and went through their operating budgets and their capital outlay budgets. That was our primary focus at that time. And to be honest with you, we were running for our lives, trying to get all that in there, implement the new system, train on the new system, review, the results from the departments. So no, we didn't go through everybody's 5-year plan.
Well, good. Because my way of thinking is you gotta have a plan. And then you budget the plan.
No more, no less, or less if you can, but never
Well,
more.
but that's the way you gotta do it. I mean,
I agree with
what
you.
I've seen here for 3 years is we just, somebody comes in with a request and we, oh, okay, sure, and I'm going, really?
So if I may, yeah, that, again, back to the whole point of the transparency of having an online platform where everybody and their dog, anybody that's interested can go out there and look at that thing
But that still doesn't go to
as it
what the
develops.
plans are. That goes with the money,
Yes,
that goes with the figures.
but it goes to, as the plans are communicated, shared out, confirming within budget that ties into the plan.
And Chairman, if maybe we should have a policy where if you want to spend more, you need to show from your department how you're going to decrease to offset that.
And I think,
And that way we stay within a business plan.
sure, and I think we know that there were, I even had a director, former director, that would brag that his money was a slush fund.
Oh, yeah, I know all about
That has been eliminated.
Well,
We're closer to balancing a budget than we've ever been.
Well, not ever, but
Well-
in recent history.
Yeah, recent history,
Uh,
last 10 years.
Took care of that problem because we took that earmarked general fund and just moved it into the general fund. So we didn't have this piggyback scenario, which
Which was killing us.
oh, absolutely. But I mean, I don't know where we are in streets. We had a plan done
Sorry.
years ago.
Sorry.
And I don't know where we are on the plan. I haven't heard or seen it since. So who was first?
She was, go ahead.
I just had a question, because
Yeah,
you
you-
talked about we're going to a new software.
Mhm.
But we voted to go, is it Oracle we voted to go to?
Oracle.
Is that you're gonna have to go to another software then after that?
No,
No.
just that one.
So what are you switching? You mentioned you're switching to new software now where the public can see the budget. What's that? Is that the Oracle?
It's the ClearGov.
That was
That's
just a,
that's what we're using this year. We used ClearGov.
Okay.
But it was brand new to all of us.
Well, I mean, to go through all these different software, that's a nightmare.
But the beauty of it is, once you've got it up and running and you've got it structured on the accounts, chart of accounts, you've got the departments familiar with it and able to utilize it. Now you can post a link and show that to anybody.
No, I agree. That's a good thing. I just didn't want them to have to
And
go through all these
is
changes.
Oracle an open source?
No,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Well, these are tighter, and that's been part of the problem. Because we couldn't go get something. Mr. Mayor.
And I look about where we are and I look at all the issues that are ahead of us. I mean, hopefully we've dealt with the police department's air conditioning. But, we got $50 million, at least $50 to $70 million issue with the museum. So are we gonna try to look ahead and plan for that? You turn around, look at our streets. I mean, after every flood, to me, it doesn't matter what you say, the streets didn't wash out, but every one of them, the base is gone and they're fall apart. So every street that way, we got 161 miles of cast iron pipe that's 85 years old. That's probably 160 million. And then we have a civic center over here that hadn't been fixed. We don't have any idea what to do with the adult youth center. And so right there, I'm just saying, at some point in time, we're also gonna have to sit here and plan. Oh, and we need to try to look and see about doing something so we can get our air service a little more reliable out of here. And so, I mean, right there alone, we don't have are we gonna have a museum committee to decide what we're gonna do with the museum? And the adult center and all that? All I'm saying, there are all these things out there. And if we don't start getting a plan on how to repair the museum or replace it, or the civic center or any of that stuff, if we don't do it, we're dead meat. We've got to spend some money out of there, even if it makes us look bad for a while, on getting planning crews ready so we don't have to have our museum closed for 5 or 6 years. And, the civic center needs to open so we can start selling back Roswell again. And we need to know, do we put a little money in to try to get United Airlines in here? I mean, it's all, because it's obvious when they start charging what they charge to fly in here,
Maximizing.
they're maximizing their revenues at our expense. And if there's not competition, it's not going to get better. And I don't know, but we have to sit down and look and just like last week, we bought a fire truck out of the cash balances at the airport. But in reality, we need to have that fire truck for just public safety for flying the airplanes. And
That's a requirement for your 130.
yeah, and so I'm just saying, all this stuff, we're going in the right direction. We're still going to have to put some money together to get somebody to design how to rebuild a museum, or what to put in it. And
The flood is on kettle
so,
of giant fish.
there's just a lot. And they all want me to have a committee about where to put the museum, whether, they want to know if you put it downtown, or I'd say you put it up on the hill so it doesn't flood. Then we don't have to worry about $300 million worth of flood insurance. And, there's just, all these things are all stacked up. And we were dealt a wreck, and the wreck it was 12 or 15 years in the making, and it's not going to get fixed in 4 years.
Pull that
So,
slide back up.
that's all I'm saying is that I know, and
Look at
got
those
about
years right there and see what your deficits were.
So,
Years you're talking about, you can see right there. It's in red and black. What problems were left for us to deal with?
and we've only begun to deal with the deficit problems we're going to have at the swimming pool. When you use second class stainless steel, all you're going to have to do is go in and remodel the whole damn thing to get rid of it. Come on. There's just a lot here. Running a city or a government is not as easy to fix when it's been so mismanaged.
I don't.
And that's just where we are. And then, I don't know, the museum was kind of mad at me yesterday because I said, well, I don't know about, appoint somebody to go in and fix the museum. I don't want to have a do-gooder come in here committee that doesn't understand our finances and doesn't understand what we can afford, so they tell us what to spend on that thing. I've got to have something that's a realistic thing to get it open as soon as possible and get us as much return we can on that investment out of tourism. And it's not ever going to make money going in and paying $5 a head to go in there. And but we've got to make that up on tourism money. And so there's just a lot of things, but people out there have no earthly idea how bad this place was then. If you read that audit report, I mean, listen,
How many have read it besides me?
nobody pays $300,000 for a damn bar and rents it for $100 a month.
They-
Nobody does that. And
And they didn't even pay most of that time. All right, are you done for a minute?
yes, I'm done. It's time to go to the other meeting.
A question or a comment?
I'd just like to make a comment. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you put that back up one more time? Appreciate it. First of all, I want to say, obviously, I'm pretty new to the process. Do appreciate that Tony and Chad, and I did get access to ClearGov, and I would encourage, it's just a login. I would encourage all the city councilors, if you guys could get that to the other city councilors. I found that really helpful. I also want to thank Councilor Corn and Councilor Hildebrand, who's not here, for taking time with me as a young counselor to sit down and spend the time teaching me about city budget, which is obviously complex and it's not intuitive. And I have a lot to learn about it, but I do want to say that I really appreciate the time spent. When I look at this data set, I mean, it's clear that we are reducing our expenses, and that's a time of inflation, so that's good. We're starting to trend down, right? Our revenue's holding steady. You know, it's higher than it's ever been. Obviously, we've increased taxes, so that's part of that. And it looks like we're trending in the right direction. So I would agree with the mayor, and we are trending in the right direction. You know, there's not a lot we're going to do. There are some things. We're not going to increase a lot of revenue. We are working hard. It should. The city staff is trying to work really hard on reducing expenses. If you just look year over year over year, we are heading down, and that's good. That's a good sign. You know what I mean? I think there are a lot of things that I can see that we're working on, and we talk about in other committees about how to work on controlling expenses, media, welcome. You hear me say that a lot. But I just want to say that that's my analysis. I think, and to Mr. Corn's point, and to your point, Mr. Mayor, because I think I know it's been a little bit testing here today, but I would like to bridge a little bit of gap. You're exactly right. We're going to need a lot more money to deal with all the things we're going to do, Mr. Mayor. What Mr. Corn is saying is the more years that we're in the black, the more we're able to deal with that. And we're behind the sticks, and we get that. But wanting to have us look more like fiscal year 15 when we can, that means we're going to have to start accumulating cash so we can progress forward. So I think we're all talking around the same thing. So we got some room to go, and I look at that and think things are trending forward. And I look forward to next year if we have access to ClearGov. Earlier, it was a rush process. It's a lot of data. It's changing all the time. I get it. Let's not do that again next year if we can avoid it. But I think it is positive. But we have a long way to go if we're going to be ready. Got to have money in the bank for when stuff happens.
You're right, Counselor, and I would appreciate you adopting an understanding with Representative Corn and Hildebrand, what they've said. But I just would like to remind you not to forget to pick up your packet, and I might as well.
Well, that's a different.
Listen, I'm doing everything you wanted, and I'm just saying, you just make sure you just got to pick up your packet.
Well, that's a discussion for another
You're
time.
one of the youngest people in here to run it, and you know you need to represent your age.
Well, I appreciate that, you know, and they were in a public meeting talking about it, so.
Well, I'm just a committee, nobody wants to listen to this stuff.
Okay, well, as far as yours. Anyway, well, that was it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I did mention that in the finance meeting, when I went through it, and asked if anybody wanted it to let me know.
Oh, where are you going with my stuff? I mean, that's a roadmap. When you look at when the mayor and I and Councilor Alverson came in, look at the numbers. We were already halfway through the previous budget, but you can see a downward trend from that point on forward. Now, it was a little rough going the first go because we were in somebody else's budget for half that year.
That was FY22.
Yep. And then you can see that we didn't do a whole lot in 24 because we were trying to play catch up on all this stuff. And the same thing happened in 2022, 24.
That was COVID.
But whenever you get further down the list, you can see which way it's going. That tells you a story if you're willing to look at it.
It's an interesting reflection at the micro level to compare the city of Roswell to what's going on in Washington DC. It's very similar in a lot of ways, and they're nowhere close to where we're at in terms of balancing budget. It's going to take them. Trump says he can do it in 4 years. I'd be shocked, but we're well on our way. And as you say, we're going to need. We don't have $260 million worth of cash laying around for our damaged inventory, so we're going to have to prioritize. You're going to see a grant application for $10 million to the Water Trust Board that our new water director, Andrew Valdez, has put together, and we'd like to get on a cycle that's manageable. $10 million worth of repairs to that infrastructure every year is manageable, and I'd like to get us on that cycle.
Well, we don't know what that's going to be. We're going to apply for it.
We're going to apply for it. I think I've been told we've got a really good chance of getting it. We know that SB 31, the revolving loan fund that'll be paid back through FEMA reimbursements, are going to be coming on administratively on the 30th, which is next week. So we're going to meet with Department of Homeland Security, secure those funds. We know it's $50 million statewide. We're going to be competing with Ruidoso and others for those funds, but we want a good chunk of that. And again, I think that needs to be prioritized for what you can actually do in a project year, actually accomplish and get it accomplished. Also, you have to have. I think you've got to have some serious repairs to the police department building. I think you got to have an IT building that's independent of a flood zone. I think you really got to have a civic center that is open back up to this community, and of course our own.
Make a motion.
Well, I'm sorry we're boring you.
No, we're supposed to be in our other meeting too.
Well, we don't have it. Well, if you got a quorum of city councilors here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Barely, he just left. So right now you don't.
No, we still have another item.
You got 4 sitting here. The 5th one just walked out.
Yeah.
So I don't get him. You know, this is really bad. I have to do everything. I'll go.
We don't need him in here yet. We don't need him yet.
I'll go, well,
I'm still in finance.
Are you making a motion?
She's got another question.
Oh, she's got another question.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, and it just falls under finance because part of my question was on the special city meeting, do we have enough people? I have 4:30, so I can try to stretch it. But while we're in finance, right now FEMA insurance funds that we've received, do we have that accessible? Is that something where, because I'm kind of confused. I understand that we've pulled in money under insurance, but I'm supposing that like the auction money, it goes to the general fund. It all goes into the general fund, correct?
Into cash. So the insurance proceeds have been paid out. You have to expend those first, and FEMA offsets their reimbursement of your stuff with what you receive in insurance. So as you know, we've replaced the fire trucks. What else did we use the insurance proceeds on? Again, trying to prioritize. We have to be able to respond to calls, and losing that many fire trucks, we wouldn't have been able to. So it was fire trucks.
Do we need the PD?
Most of the safety stuff.
It was, yeah, a lot of safety stuff.
Mostly safety stuff. I think we had some priority bills on muck and gut, particularly at the museum, where the bill went up pretty high, pretty fast. Same thing with Civic Center. We paid our bills. Good news is, got a report yesterday that our FEMA reimbursements are finally starting to flow. So it's a little amount, but that's a good sign. So we got $300,000 of approximately of FEMA reimbursements recently.
Do we have any accounting on how that has worked? Because that's what I kind of want to see the list and kind of understand, because I have people saying I'm just, not to me necessarily, but actually that the whisper is that they want they want us to focus on this versus this. And I can't respond because I'm not educated on even where we're headed or what the process is. So on a 30,000, on something like that where the insurance funds are coming in, what's the plan for replacement? That kind of stuff, because I mean, I trust you guys are actually.
Get us a list of what we spent the insurance proceeds.
Get a spreadsheet that shows all the damage, all the costs, and then where
it's going.
where the repairs are
In
going.
the same kind of.
So I have a list that was provided in finance meetings for the POs that we've encumbered for the flood
Did
related.
we see the actual damage to the cost?
To
Sorry.
help you with the procedure,
Mhm.
and remember, you're dealing with the federal government here, so it gets complicated. So you have to do a lot of upfront work, engineering, planning and stuff,
Expenses.
and then
On your dime.
on your dime.
Mhm.
And then you send all that package of information back to Washington DC or wherever it needs to go. And they have to approve the project,
Sure.
okay? And then they send the money, then this is where it gets really fun. It's about $260 million of damage
Yes, sir.
in the flood. I don't remember, I think it's 250.
Our original damage estimate was $260 million.
And it's been revised down.
And and it fluctuates as we get through each inspection.
It
Yeah.
just, I mean, using a shotgun, and now we got to get down to shooting with the rifle. And then what happens is that the money gets sent from Washington DC to Santa Fe. And Santa Fe's got to keep track of all this stuff because they're basically the fiscal agent for the
Flow
federal
through.
dollars.
Yeah.
But it's a reimbursable basis. So that's the reason why we raised the taxes for the flood, and we haven't seen any of that money yet. We won't see that money till August, September,
Probably, yeah.
okay? And you've got to expend the money, send all your documentation to Santa Fe at this point, at Santa Fe and Washington, and then those bean counters look at it and reconcile it, and then you get a little more money coming back. So from the get-go, the flood is its own kettle of fish. And you can't get it and this like this, with the exception of maybe the insurance proceeds, because those are our proceeds.
Well, that's why that SB 31 becomes so important. That's cash that comes to us.
No, we understand exactly what you're
Yeah.
saying. We understood that. I'd like to see a spreadsheet said,
What
The
we got
museum
from the
got
insurance,
this
what
much
was,
damage, this much money's come in from FEMA, this much money's come from insurance, and then any income or expenditure that has anything to do with any of the buildings. I'd like to see a
Oh.
spreadsheet.
As a principal, I think goes back to what I was saying about the vehicles and when you auction those off. I understand the semantics of the accounting and I totally respect that. But for me, I'm feeling that even on the insurance, it's a matter of principle that we try to get as much of that back to where the damage was. And I think I'm concerned with that we won't have the ability to advocate for the people and ensuring that area is built because we don't know who's going to be choosing who gets what. I don't know that that's being put before us, and I also don't even know the damage. I also don't know what the plan is to move forward and what we're going to hit and take to the state and take to federal. I'd like to have a voice in that. I want to move to the next thing because we do have to move on to the special. The public safety tax. Can you actually tell me how much by this point I can't ask this in public safety because you're not there, so I'm asking it in finance. Can you tell me what we've accumulated thus far?
I think
it's on here. So it's under the ambulance enterprise fund on your DFA report.
Okay, so 8.6,
8.2.
8.2. Oh, okay, I got it right here, the balance. Okay,
So what do you
because
want?
I think we need to be planning instead of just letting on stuff like that. I actually believe you are correct. We need to create policy that creates plans that actually dictates instead of, that's a lot of money on an ambulance program. I think that it's supposed to be around 5 or 6 million for setup is what I was informed.
Yep.
And so if that revenue is going to actually double next year, I would like to have something in motion to where we put it to a viable plan in helping us progress and getting some of that checklist down that the mayor is talking about that's regarding public safety, such as a new public safety complex or something. And I'm talking about a 5 to 6 to 7 year plan, because if that money accumulates like that, that's a lot, and we need to be mindful of how
Or
we
we can
spend
take
it.
the tax off.
Or take the tax off. I love that idea too.
Let me propose a potential fix.
Okay,
Okay, we've got call to order, roll call, approval of agenda and budget planning. We need to put something in here as an E, move E down and put flood planning. Is that what you want to call it?
love it.
There you go. Second change. My agenda since I've seen it just a little while ago.
But I would like to see a spreadsheet, just.
Well, that's all part of the presentation, but I gotta get something on the agenda.
Yeah.
And then I'll work with, or you can work with whoever's gonna be saddled with that responsibility. And that's his call.
We can do.
I don't wanna burden Tony anymore if I keep from it.
Yeah.
She's got a full plate. Okay, so. Anything else on, I guess that item 5,
Yes, sir. Fourth quarter.
fourth quarter. So
Can I make a motion? Do you mind?
I'm waiting on something.
Make a motion, we consider adopting resolution 25XX and approving the final fourth quarter financial report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. I consent.
Second that.
I got a motion, a second. Any opposition? Passes 3-0. Item 6, which is all this stuff that was brought in. Did you save that, those changes on that jump drive for me?
Yes, sir.
I'll be glad, I mean, it's a public document, so if anybody wants a copy of that, get after
Email.
it. Well,
Or you-
we'll get,
Email it to me as well.
Email.
send it to all the finance committee members, whenever you get a chance. You can email yourself that. I won't be able to open, but I've got the
Ready
really,
for a motion?
well, we need to discuss this. Anything else to discuss? I mean, we got this stack of documents right here at the start of the meeting.
Line by line?
And we said, we've already noted that the deficit number went up by 400,000 round figures, because she's got my deals out. Anything else you want to discuss? Anybody else?
No?
Okay,
Julie Smith, Region West Mascota Road. If you don't mind, I do want to mention the final piece, and I did call you about it, but when the time comes for us or for y'all to maybe discuss the remuneration portion for the specific jobs, I just want to identify that a pre-tax might also be a great perk. I know that's a separate topic, but I wanted to make sure I did squeeze that into the finance meeting. Certainly prioritize like you're doing, but I do, if we're talking about, sending things to Washington.
I think what you're talking about is changing state law.
It is, it's codification change, but I have some experience.
You know how hard it was to get stuff passed up there.
I think, and I had some experience with trailblazing, and I know that we have some people who have codified things, granted, not at the federal level, but I think it's worth a try. And I think I can really help out with that.
I'll give, that sounds like a public comment item.
Okay,
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
okay, sorry.
So what's your,
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to consider recommending the approval of the adoption of the resolution 25XX of the final budget for the city of Roswell for the fiscal year 25 and 26, and authorization of the submission of the New Mexico DFA Administration, Local Government Division. Put on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, any other comments? Anybody opposed? 2-1.
2-1.
And now we're to public participation. Well, I would start over. You might try to pick up where you are, because I don't know if anybody else on the committee has had time to sit and visit with you a little bit about this. What he's basically saying is trying to figure out a way to make some of the deductions tax deductible, like your PRA.
I call them all monthly, so I have had the chance for just about most everyone in my estimate.
Okay, well, then we don't need to, you know what he's talking about.
Well, it sounds like an FSA account.
Well,
For sure.
it is tax already. I mean, I don't know.
But it would be a bill. It would not be FSA. It would not be. This would be rent or car payment where you can the city pay it.
Yeah, all that's, medical is exempt, so you're talking about personal finances.
And exactly. Well, but one you can pick one bill, probably something that is not utility, something that's, each month.
It's legislative, isn't it?
Yes, we'll have to discuss that at the legislative level, and both the state and the state tax as well as the federal tax. So it will be a process, but I think it can help y'all from bleeding out as a unit. Because right now y'all are losing people left and right. And that work right there is really good retainability. And if we could get something that would attract people to going back to government, government jobs, civil servants, I always took a lot of government classes, but they always say that, why do you want to go on why that? It's just not as marketable as it once was. But that might be an attractive. I do want to discuss the judge before I let go. I do think we need to go through, if we have so many people, I know you and I discussed, I also think the budget is a little, but as far as the manpower, administrative top heavy with some of our departments.
That's a long discussion. That have to be handled at a different date.
Not a problem.
Department by department.
That's not a problem. But I would like to go through, that's the remuneration portion I'm talking about, where we decide what's going to be added to their task to their task or qualify for the.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure I push that to you as well.
Any other business?
I don't mind helping you with that.
Thank you.
That's it.
I'll talk to you about it, but I'm not gonna go lobby it.
Yes. We have someone that doesn't mind.
Okay, we're adjourned. Till the 7th, next meeting.
You can go home now.
You can't go home yet. We still got another meeting. It was supposed to started an hour ago, and the mayor's gone. Just barely got a quorum here.
He wouldn't.